What's up guys, Mizzo Frizzo here, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to set up a full ammunition inventory system, complete with reserve ammo, reloading, the lot. This is quite a complex system, so this is going to be a big one, but if I walk over to this weapon for example, which has 9mm by 19 ammunition, you can see I've got my current ammo and my reserve ammo down the bottom right. I can reload and it's going to set it to the magazine size plus one that was remaining in the chamber. If there was not one remaining in the chamber, it will just reload to the magazine size, then I'd have to reload again to get that one extra. And if I walk over to a weapon with an ammo type that I already have in my inventory, you'll see it will do a nice little impulse and add ammunition, and you can see up the top left there's a print string telling me how much ammunition I've added. And now that I'm at max ammo, this is not picking up any more, so 500 is the max reserve ammo for this ammo type. It's not going to pick up any more until I use some and reload, and now my reserve is going to top up again. And these pickups, if they did not have any more remaining, it will not pick up anymore. So eventually I've set these ones to have quite a lot in reserve, so this is topping me up quite a few times, but eventually it's going to run out. I'm not sure what I set this to, quite a lot. Yeah, it's still got more to go. I think I may have set it to 200, so I'd have to use 200 ammo, and there we go. It has run out of ammunition now, and you can see now it's not going to pick up anymore. So like I said guys, there's quite a lot that goes into this. This is going to take some time, but I promise you it will be easy enough to follow along, and if you do follow along, I guarantee you'll be able to replicate this in your project. Just before we get started guys, please take a moment to consider donating to the channel via the YouTube thanks function. These tutorials take no small amount of work, so any donations go a long way to keeping me going and keeping me bringing you guys some quality content. Without further ado, let me show you how to do this. Alrighty guys, now managing an inventory is basically just finding a way to store and access and set different data. So basically an inventory is just a way of storing data. There's several different ways you can go about this, but we are going to use an array of structures. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and create our structure. In our main folder, I'm going to just go into props actually and weapons, and just in here I'm going to right click, and under blueprint and structure I'm going to call this struct underscore ammo. I'm going to open this up, and this is going to contain basically a set of variables, and that's it. Now the first one we can just make an enumeration actually, so let's back out, and in our folder here I can just duplicate one of these enumerations, and I'm going to call this enum ammo type. I'm going to open this up, and we're going to, so I've got 5 different ammo types that I'm working with here. I've got 6 weapons, and 2 of them basically share the same type. So I'm going to go ahead and create the ammo types for these weapons, but the principles will be the same. So whatever ammo types you want to have, you know, you can set that up how you like. So the first ammo type is going to be 9 by 19mm. The second ammo type is going to be 545 by 39mm. The third one is going to be 762 by 39mm. The next one's going to be my 9 by 39mm. And then I'm going to have 556 by 45mm. I'm going to scrap these other enumerators that I don't need. So these are the 5 ammo types that I'm working with. Okay, so with that enumeration created, I can close that, and then in my struct ammo, my first variable is going to be ammo type, ammo typo, more like, and then I'm going to set this to my enum ammo type that I've just created. Okay. The next variable I'm going to have here is an index. So I'm going to call it ammo index, and I'm going to make it an integer. Basically, we're going to make this one a reference to which ammo type it is. It's just going to be basically an integer that denotes the ammo type. You'll see why this is handy very shortly. The next one I am going to put is reserve. So reserve ammo, and again integer. One more will be max reserve ammo, also of type integer. The next one I am going to make a boolean called has ? So this is going to be set as true once we have that ammo type. And that should be all we need for now. We are going to add this struct to our weapon blueprints and our pickup blueprints, and also we're going to add an array of structs to our character's blueprint. But as I said, this is just a different way of managing data, storing data, and we're not actually going to use every single one of these variables in each instance where we add these structs. We're going to, most of this is going to be used in our character's blueprint, but then in the weapon blueprint and the pickup blueprints, for example, we're only going to use ammo type and ammo index just to check what type of ammo that weapon is using. So with that in mind, we can save this and close this, and let's go into our character's blueprint, which for me is third person character. And the first thing I'm going to do is start adding a few variables. So I'm going to add my ammo types variable, and I'm going to look for that struct ammo that we just created. And then I'm going to right click here and change this to an array, or you can also drop down this menu up here and select array. So this variable is an array of structures. So it's going to have some indices, and within each indice is going to be a different struct, a different copy of that struct with a different set of variables, if that makes any sense. So this will actually make more sense if we compile now, and then over here in the default values, we can add 5 indices for our 5 different structs. Okay, and so in here is where you will store most of the data of your ammunition inventory. So we can go ahead and, for starters, just change the ammo type and the ammo index. So this index will coincide with this index right here. So this next one, this one can stay as 9 by 19 mil at index 0, and then this one's going to be the second one at index 1. This one's going to be the third one at index 2, so on and so forth, index 3, and the last one at index 4, like so. So we've got our 4 different ammo types, our 5 different ammo types at our 5 different indexes. You also want to, so reserve is going to be 0 by default, because we haven't picked it up yet. Has is also going to be false by default, but here is where you want to set your max reserve for each weapon. So I'm just going to make these a little bit different for each one so that we can test that everything's working. I'm going to make this one 210. I'm going to make this one 220. Oh, that's reserve, not max reserve. That should be 0. So I've done it here as well, haven't I? I'm going to make this 0, and I'm going to change them. What? think my mouse wheel is doing that. Sorry about that. Max reserve 210, max reserve 220, max reserve 230, max reserve 240, and max reserve 250. Nice. Now, the very first thing that we're going to do is set up how this is set on our spawn weapon logic. So I've got my spawn weapon logic and my switch weapon logic here, and we're going to set this up so that it knows what ammo type we're picking up and sets this boolean as true. But first we just need to add these structs to our weapon blueprints and our pickup blueprints. So I'm going to go into my main, props, weapons, and find my BP weapon master. I am going to add variable ammo type, of type struct ammo that we created, like so. Compile and save and close that, and then I'm going to want to filter by blueprint class, and I want to change this in each of my weapons. So like I said, my pistol and my Mac are going to use the same ammo type. So in both of these, what we want to do is go in and in the class defaults change the ammo type and the ammo index to make sure that's correct. So that should be correct on both of those because it's the first one, and it is. And then I'm going to go up through my weapons in order. So my KA74U is my next one, 545 by 39, ammo index 1. Compile, save, and close. My next one is my AK 762, ammo index 2. And if you want to double check, you can just check in your character's blueprint what you set them as here. So 762 by 39 was 2, 762 by 39, 2. And this one's the next one, which will be 9 by 39 and ammo index 3. And then this is my last one, 556, ammo index 4. It's a little bit tedious, but you will have to do this with all of your weapon blueprints and your pickup blueprints. So BP weapon pickup master, I also want to add ammo type. Find that struct, compile, save, close, and then go into each pickup. So Uzi and pistol should be 919 and 0. K74U is 545 and 1. AK 762 and 2. Val 939 and 3. And lastly 556 and 4. Nice. Now, anytime we spawn a weapon and we get, what is in the index on our current weapons, we'll have ammo type right here. Okay, so there's also one other variable I'd like to add to my pickup master while we're here, weapon pickup master, and it is just ammo of type integer. Okay, and we also want to make sure that with this selected, we over here click instance editable and expose on spawn, like so, and this is going to be the ammo in the clip of this weapon that's sitting on the ground. So instead of accessing ammo type and changing that, we're just going to store the ammo that's in the clip in its own variable here because it's just easier when we spawn this pickup. So this doesn't have it there, but if I just get rid of this and bring this back up again, spawn actor from class, you'll see it says ammo now, and this means that when we spawn our pickup, we can set how much that ammo is, if that makes any sense. Instead of you know, breaking open the ammo struct and setting the ammo struct, blah blah blah, we are just able to just plug an integer in here and set the ammo of that pickup. Okay. We also need to pass that through on our spawn weapon right here. So we can click, and we'll pass through the ammo type as well. So we can click this spawn weapon here, and we can add a couple more inputs. We can call one ammo of type integer, and we'll add one more, call it ammo type, oops, ammo typo again, and that will be our struct ammo. Okay, so we're going to pass these through on our weapon pickup. So in weapon pickup master, where we've called spawn weapon, we can plug in ammo type here, and ammo and ammo type, like so. Nice. Alrighty, so this logic here is going to change a little bit. We need to basically pass that ammo and ammo type through to set the ammo that we're holding, and the ammo of in our struct. So just to make things a little bit clearer, we'll create the variables now. I'm going to create another one here called ammo, and that's just going to be of type integer. I'm going to right click here to change it to a single. This is going to be the ammo of the gun that we're currently holding, and it's going to be the number that's displayed on the screen, if that makes any sense. We can also duplicate that, and we'll call this one reserve ammo, and this is going to be the one that's also displayed on the screen, the reserve ammo of the current weapon that we're holding. It'll all make sense once we plug it all together, don't worry. I'm going to duplicate this again. I'm going to call this one current primary ammo, and I'm going to duplicate that one, and I'm going to call the other one current secondary ammo. This is going to store what the current ammo is of the weapons in our first slot and our second slot, and we're going to use it to set the ammo displayed on the screen when we switch. Okay, and I'm going to get one more, and I'm going to call it unspent ammo. This is going to be the ammo that's left in the clip when we reload, so that we can determine how much to take off of our reserve ammo when we reload. Okay, so the first thing we need to do when we pick up a gun is we actually can just take ammo here and just plug it into this ammo on the spawn actor. So when we drop a gun, it's going to drop holding the amount of ammo that we had of that gun that we were holding, if that makes any sense. And then after we've spawned, equipped this weapon, we need to set the ammo, and we're going to set it as the ammo of this weapon that we're picking up, the weapon to spawn. So we can plug that in there, make a reroute node. You could probably pass this variable through with another variable, but I really don't see a point in doing that, because we don't need to calculate or anything. We don't need to do anything with that variable. We just need to set ammo off it. So we're going to do that, and we're also going to grab this ammo type right here and drag it way out to the end here as well, and we're going to break struct ammo. So this is how structures work. They're made up of these variables that we created, and you can take a struct and break it so that you can access all the variables, and then you can also make a struct when you want to set those variables. So what we want to do is we're basically going to use this ammo index to access what type of ammo is in. So as I said, ammo types here is where we're going to store most of our data and use most of our data. And what we can do is we can get a copy at index, the same ammo index of this one that we're setting it off. Yeah, this is going to get quite complicated, guys, but stick with me. And then we can also break this one open, and then we've got the variables inside of that ammo on our character. So this is the one that we're actually holding. This is the one that we're spawning, and all we're getting from this is the ammo index and maybe the reserve ammo that's stored on it. So while we're at it, what we might do in the weapon pickup master is go into the ammo type here, and we will just set the reserve ammo as 50 by default. So that's just going to change it in all of our pickups. If we look at our other pickups, inside the ammo type structure, the reserve ammo has been set to 50. So just so it has some reserve in there. That should be a good number. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is reset this element, and for example we need to set it as has. So what we can do is get our ammo types again, and we can set array element. The array element that we're going to set is the same ammo index again. So we can pass this over to here, get a reroute node, keep it neat and tidy. And basically we'll drag off item here and we can make struct ammo. And this is basically how you set a structure within an array. We need to set it as, for the most part, the same as what it was here, right? So ammo index is always going to be the same. Max reserve ammo is always going to be the same. Has is not going to be the same because we want to set this as true now. We now have that ammo type. Okay, and the reserve is also not going to be the same because we're going to pick up the reserve with the ammo here that we're picking up. So what we can do is make a little bit of space here, and it's going to be the reserve ammo of what this is how much we had plus how much reserve ammo was in that pickup, clamp integer between 0 and the max reserve ammo of that type of ammo, and then plug that into reserve like so. And that has updated the ammo type inside of our character. It's updated how much reserve it has. It's updated that we have it. And we also just need to update the reserve ammo, which is the one that will be displayed on screen. Okay, like so. Yeah, so that's everything with regards to picking up a weapon. We also need to switch weapons. So down here where we switch weapons, this will be a little bit different. We need to, we first need to set the current amount of ammunition as the current for that weapon slot. So we can grab our ammo and we can set it. We're going to set it twice here off of each of these. These are going to go into the same one here. And we're going to set ammo as our current primary ammo and our current secondary ammo, like so. I'm just wondering if we'll need to also do that up here. Let's do a little check if we're using our primary or our secondary at the end here and set our current primary and secondary ammo. Forgot to do that. So we can grab our current weapons and get a copy. And we can check if that's equal to the child class. So get child actor of our equipped weapon and get class. And then check if those are equal. Make a branch. And if they are equal, then we are on our primary. If they're not equal, what we can do is we can duplicate this down here, change the index here to 1. If they're not equal, we'll check if they're equal on the other slot, which they will be. So if this is our primary, we can set our current primary ammo as our ammo. Whoops. Whoops. That changed that one. My bad. And our current secondary ammo down here as our ammo, like so. Alrighty, and then the switching, so we set that at the beginning there, and then we also need to do some things off of the end. We need to, so we're setting our ammo, we also just need to set our reserve ammo. So we can get, we're setting all of this off of the equip index of our current weapons here. So we can take our ammo type here and break that. And then we can get our current weapons, get a copy at that ammo index, and we can also break that. Whoops. Oh, sorry, ammo types, my bad. Ammo types. Break that. And then we just want to set our reserve ammo as the reserve ammo of whatever ammo type we're switching to. So we can start to test this now, but first let's just add it to a widget. So we'll need to create the widget, but we'll also want to create a blueprint interface. So I'm going to create a blueprint interface, actually a function within character data. So I can open up BP character data and add a function, call it if_get_ammo, like so. And this is going to have an output called ammo, type integer, and another output called reserve ammo of type integer. And in our third person character, under interfaces, we can find our get ammo because that character data should already be added to our third person character. If it hasn't, just right click, go to blueprints, blueprint interface, create a blueprint interface called character data, open it up, rename the function to get ammo. You can see I've got the left hand IK set up here, so that's why I've got this one. You can create a function called getAmmo, add these outputs, and then in your third person character, go to class settings and interfaces and add that blueprint interface, which will be the character data. Add that, compile, and then under interfaces over here, you'll see that getAmmo function. We can go into there and we can just plug in ammo and reserve ammo like so. So like I said, these are the two that will store the value that's displayed on the screen. And then we can, in main, create a new folder, call it UI, and in UI we can right click and under user interface widget blueprint create a new user widget, call it widget underscore main or whatever you want. Open this up. I'm going to find a canvas panel, drag it out here. I'm also going to find text, drag it onto canvas panel here, and then I'm going to select it. I'm going to anchor it to the bottom right. I'm going to zero out the location here and just move it to about there. I'm going to change the appearance a little bit. I'm going to change the color to yellow to make it stand out. I'm going to make the font size, it's a little bit big, 32 say. I am going to rename it XXX to denote 3 digits. I'm going to click size to content, and I'm also going to change the justification to align text to center. And now that I've got all that, I am going to duplicate it. I'm going to put the other one about here and make it a slash, maybe make it a bit bigger, make it 40 like so, and I'm just going to do it like this. I'm going to duplicate this one more time, put this one down here, and this is going to be our reserve ammo. And now we want to bind these. So what we can do is click on the first one and click bind here and create binding, and I am going to call my get ammo interface function. This will be get player character, and I'm going to do something here that will make it appear as a dash instead of 0 when it's 0. You can just take this ammo and plug it into here, but what I'm going to do is first check that it's greater than 0, and off of here I'm going to get a select. I'm going to plug this into the index here, and if it is greater than 0, I'm just going to set it as the ammo like so, and if it's not greater than 0, I'm going to put in a dash here, or 2 dashes for the ammo. I'll put 2 dashes for ammo and 3 dashes for reserve ammo. So that's all we have to do in here. We can go back to the designer and select the reserve ammo here, and also create a binding. Also I can actually go to get text here, and I can duplicate most of this. So Control C to copy and paste that in. And this time I'm just going to hold Control and drag these onto reserve ammo. Plug this in here like so. Nice. That should be all good to go. I just need to add that to the viewport. So in our third person character in the event graph, I'm going to find event begin play, and on the end here, create widget, set it to our W main, and add to viewport. Nice. Now I'm not sure what we've set these to, just because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I do want to go into my W main, and in my reserve ammo get text function, I'm going to make this 3 dashes like so. So we'll have 2 dashes for the ammo, 3 dashes for the reserve, and also that's a little bit close to that forward slash. So I'm also just going to, in the designer, move this out here a little bit. Nice. Now I can't remember what I set these to, so they won't have any ammo by default, and the reserve ammo is 50. So just to test this out, let's go into our pickups and change a few things. Yeah, we'll go into the weapon pickups. I'm going to filter by blueprint class, and I need to set the max of these. So basically, I can set the max as the same max in our ammo types in here. Oh no, because it'll be different for each weapon. So it'll be the magazine size if we've set that up in our weapon master. BP weapon master, we should have magazine size, but then if we've set that for each of these is another story. A magazine size is 12 on the pistol, 26. Okay, yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and open up all of my weapon blueprints here, because it has the magazine size stored in there. And then in each of the weapon pickups, I'm going to go in, open up the pickup, check its corresponding magazine size right here in the blueprint, and I'm just going to make ammo, which, as you recall, is just going to be the ammo stored in the magazine of that weapon, of that pickup. I'm going to make the ammo that. I'm also going to change the reserve ammo while I'm here on each one as I go up. So I'm going to leave the pistol as 50. I'm going to close those two. I am going to then open up my Uzi pickup and check the magazine size, copy that, set it as the ammo, and I'm going to change the reserve ammo to 60. Just so we can see things changing and, you know, differentiate what's happening. Close those two. Open up my next one. Check its magazine size. Set the ammo. And set the reserve as 70. So on and so forth. Uno momento por favor, shouldn't be too much longer. Whoops. Ammo, and I think I was up to 80. 50, 60, 70, 80, maybe it's 90. Can't remember. Doesn't matter too much, like I said, it's just to change things up and differentiate. And then last but not least, magazine size, ammo, and I make this 100. Nice. Now when we pick up a weapon, it'll change to that amount of ammo, so 20, 30. This one should be different again, 20, 30. And when I switch, it's changing the amount of ammo and the reserve ammo for that weapon type. Nice. Let's go ahead and make it so that when we overlap with a gun that has an ammo type that we already have, that we go ahead and pick up the reserve ammo from that weapon. And the first thing we're going to need to do is create a blueprint interface. So again, we'll go into interfaces, we'll right click and blueprint interface. We'll call this one BPI underscore weapon pickup, because it's going to interface with our weapon pickup. We can open this up and we're going to create a couple of functions in here. We can call the first one if underscore get ammo index. No, we'll call it get ammo type. And it's going to have one output called ammo type. Ammo type of type struct ammo. And we're going to create another one called take reserve ammo. Create a function, interface function underscore take reserve ammo, and this one is going to have one input called ammo taken of type integer. Compile and save that, and that's all we need to do in here. We can then go into our weapon pickup master, and we can go to class defaults, class settings, and interfaces over here, and add our BPI weapon pickup. Compile and save, and then under interfaces here you'll see the if get ammo type. We can double click that, and then here we can just pass through our ammo type like so. And we can also double click take reserve ammo, and it will create this node, this event. We're not going to do anything here yet. We're going to set everything up in our characters blueprint first, but we just needed to add this interface and especially get the ammo type. So we're going to go back to our third person character, and we're going to do it on event begin overlap. So what we can do is grab our capsule component, we can select it here and then scroll down, and on component begin overlap, we can hit this little add icon and it will give us this node right here. I'm just going to move it up near our switching and spawning logic. We've got our firing logic here, which we're also going to make some changes to when we set the ammo when we fire, but we're just going to do this part first. So the first thing we can do of other actor here is check does implement interface, and we're going to select our BPI weapon pickup interface like so, and do a branch. So when we overlap with another actor, this won't fire off if the other actor doesn't implement the interface BPI weapon pickup. It won't do anything. The next thing we need to do off of other actor here is do our get ammo type, if get ammo type, and then this gives us access to the ammo type that the overlapped weapon pickup is using. We can break that struct. Now, things might get a little bit messy here, but just follow along. The next thing we need to do is just get the ammo types within our character here and get a copy of the same ammo index of this weapon that we've overlapped with, and then we can also break this one, and we're going to do a couple of things with this. We're going to make a branch that checks a few things. So let's just drag off of this execution pin here and make our branch, and then on the condition of the branch, let's find an AND boolean, and let's add a pin to that. So we're going to have three conditions here on this branch. The first one is going to check if the pickup that we've overlapped with has any reserve ammo. So we're going to check if the reserve ammo is greater than 0. That's our first condition. The second condition is going to be that our reserve ammo isn't already at the maximum. So we can check if the reserve is less than the max reserve, like so. That's going to be our second condition. And the third condition is just going to be, do we have that ammo type already? We want to check if we have that ammo type already. So the next thing we're going to do is take that reserve ammo, and we're also going to set our reserve ammo sort of as what the new one is. So I believe we'll need the other actor, so we can drag off of here and find our IF take ammo, take reserve ammo. And I'm going to try and keep this as neat as possible, but we are going to have a lot of lines here in a moment. So if all of these are true, then we want to take the reserve ammo. And we're also going to set the array element. Ammo taken, we're going to calculate in a moment. So we're going to get our ammo types and set array element. And the element that we're going to set is the same ammo type of the one that we've picked up. So it's going to be this same ammo index here. We can bring this down here, drag this over here, get some reroute nodes, like so. We can make, so off of this item here we can make struct ammo, and the things that are going to be unchanged are ammo type, obviously ammo index, max reserve ammo is not going to change, and has is not going to change, but the amount of reserve ammo is going to change. The amount of reserve ammo is going to be the reserve ammo that we had plus the reserve ammo from the weapon that we're picking up. So this one right here. And that's going to be clamped between 0 and the max reserve of that ammo type right there. That's going to plug into the reserve, and then we also need to calculate the ammo taken, which we're going to, it's going to set the remaining ammo reserve on that pickup. So it's going to be the whatever the output of this is, so our new ammo is going to be that minus minus the reserve that we had, so this reserve ammo right here. Can make a reroute node here and just pass this down to here. I know this is quite spaghetti-like and quite confusing. You might have to go back over this a couple of times to get it right, but it is what it is, guys. Plug this one in here to ammo taken and pass that through there, and that's almost everything here. What we might do is just make a function called update current reserve ammo. So we'll create a function, new function, update current reserve ammo, and then back on the event graph at the end of this right here, we'll call that update current reserve ammo, and inside update current reserve ammo we're going to get the current weapons here and get a copy of the equip index. So whichever weapon we have currently equipped, I can get the class defaults, break the ammo type, and then get my ammo types and get a copy at that ammo index, and I'm just going to set my reserve ammo. So once more, I'm going to break this struct again and set the reserve ammo as the reserve ammo of that weapon. Like I said, guys, there's a lot that goes into it, but we'll get there in the end. Don't worry. So I can go back to the event graph here, and this is all set up, but we just now need to implement the functionality on that weapon pickup for the take reserve ammo. So we can go to our weapon pickup master. That's where we're going to be working. And right here, we are first going to get the ammo type of the weapon, of that weapon pickup. And we're going to break it, and we're going to check if the reserve is greater than 0, because if it isn't, we don't want to do anything. We've checked that in our other implementation that we just did in our character, but it doesn't hurt to double check again. We don't want it to do anything here. If it is greater than 0, then we are going to set our ammo type, and here we can make struct. You can plug in the stuff that's not going to change, so I'm just going to organize this so they're lined up a bit better. The ammo index is not going to change, the max reserve is not going to change, the has is not going to change. The only thing that's going to change is the reserve, and it's going to be the reserve ammo minus the ammo taken, like so. Just going to pass this around the bottom here, plug that into reserve like so. Nice. So we're setting the reserve of that weapon pickup as what it was minus the ammo that was taken when we overlapped and we took that ammo. And what we can do to signify that something has happened here is add a little impulse and add a sound at location. So we can grab our pickup item here and add impulse. I'm going to check velocity change, and I'm going to split this impulse into the X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to find a random float in range because I want this to be a little bit random. Be a nice little effect to add here. And on the X and Y, I'm going to make this relatively small, say minus 25 to 25. And I'm just going to duplicate that one so I don't have to type that again. And on the Y axis, sorry, the Z axis, I'm going to make it 125 to 150. This might be different for you depending on the mass of your pickups. I made the mass of all my pickups 60 kilograms just to make them sort of behave a certain way. But yeah, these are the figures that I've found work quite well for me, and I am going to play a sound at location and just get the actor location. Plug it in here, and believe in the weapon packs there's a shotgun ammo sound, shotgun ammo pickup Q. We'll browse to that. Yeah, just a little ammo pickup sound. Nice. That should be everything. Compile and save that, and I might just save all while I'm at it. If I hit play now, these are probably the best ones to check. So if I don't have the ammo type, it shouldn't do anything. If I pick it up, I've got 60 in my reserve. If I go over to another one, it's doing the pickup and adding more, and again, and again. And if there's none left in that pickup, or I'm at max, it won't pick up anymore. I'm not actually sure if I am at max, but there we go. Let's add the reload functionality. Actually, you know what? Let's add the set ammo function first. So I am going to, here's my firing logic right here, and a couple of things are going to change right here. But the first thing I'm going to do is just below it, I'm going to create a custom event and call it set ammo. And then inside of this fire function, I'm going to call set ammo. So every time we fire, it's just going to set the ammo like so. Okay. And the setting ammo is maybe a little bit more complicated than you might think, because we need to set the ammo that's displayed on screen, but we also need to set the current primary and the current secondary ammo so that when we switch, it knows what to switch to. So we can get our ammo and we can decrement int. So that's just going to subtract 1 off the ammo, like so. And there's no need to add a set node. This actually sets it for us. And then what we're going to do is just check if our current weapons at index 0, we've done this before, is equal to the child class. So get child actor, get child actor, get class, check if these are equal, and if they are equal, then we are on our primary weapon. We can duplicate all of this and change the index to 1. So this is checking if we're on our primary or our secondary. If we're on our primary, we want to set current primary ammo as the ammo right here. And if we're on our secondary, we want to set our secondary ammo as our ammo, like so. Alrighty. Now we've called that in each of our fire functions, but we also just need to put in some checks that we actually have some ammo. And the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a custom event right here, custom event, and I'm going to call it cease full auto. Okay, and on cease full auto, I'm just going to duplicate this. Actually, I might just be able to plug that right in here. Cease full auto is going to call that clear and invalidate timer by handle on that fire function. And I'm going to do the same. Actually, I will need a separate one up here. So I'm going to add another custom event, call it cease burst fire. And I'm actually going to duplicate this clear and invalidate handle, plug in the handle right here. Nice, because I don't want it running this other logic afterwards. I just want it interrupting that loop. And what we want to do is we want to check if we can fire every time that we do fire. So what I want to do is create a function check can fire. Create a new function, check can fire, and in check can fire, I'm just going to check if my ammo is greater than 0. You can add other things to this function later, but right now we're just doing ammo. I'm going to add a branch here, and if it's true, I'm going to leave can fire as true, and if it's false, I'm going to set can fire as false, like so. If I back out to my event graph, what I can do is I can call that right here. I can check can fire. But obviously with the way this is set up, this timer by event will keep firing unless I release, and especially with the fully auto. So we're going to need to add check can fire on, let's start with fully auto. Just double check this is my fully auto down here. I am going to check can fire right here before fire. Check can fire. And I'm actually going to create a new variable in that check can fire. I'm going to go back into check can fire. Just going to close these ones. Check can fire, and I'm going to create a new variable called stop firing question mark of type boolean, and off of false here I'm going to set it as true. And then in my event graph, what I can do is get stop firing and a not boolean, and make a branch. And if we shouldn't stop firing, we should keep firing. And if we should stop firing, what we can do is just first set stop firing to false and cease full auto. So it's going to clear and invalidate that handle if we run out of ammo. We need to do a similar thing on our burst fire. We can check on our burst fire. We can check after each time we fire. So I'm gonna do it right here in my burst fire. After fire, check can fire, and then make a little bit more room here because I can actually just copy paste these four right here. So do a check, and then if we should not stop firing, we keep firing, and if we should stop firing, set stop firing to false, reset that, and call our cease burst fire. This might seem like a lot, but the reason is, you know, for example, if you're doing your burst fire and you've only got 2 rounds left, you want it to stop firing after it fires those 2 rounds. You don't want it to fire off 3 rounds and then stop you firing again. You've run out of ammo. So this is how I've set it up. Let's test this out. Run out of ammo and won't be able to fire again. And I might just switch this to burst, and if we've only got 2, it'll only fire twice and then it won't be able to fire again. Very nice. Okay, that's working well. Let's implement our reload logic, and then I believe we're pretty much there, guys. I have created somewhat of a bug here, so we don't actually want to, in our check can fire, we don't actually want to set can fire as true. The reason is we're setting that as true when we finish firing anyway. We probably want to just set it after ceasefire. So what we can do is, just to be sure, on cease full auto we can set can fire as true again, because that's going to stop us firing, and if we've run out of ammo anyway, we won't be able to fire again. But we want to make sure that this is setting back to true. So we haven't set that in there. We set it as true again off of cease fire. Very good. The reason why that was problematic is because it would allow us to stack our burst fire, and it would also mean that can fire would be left as false and then would never be set to true again. You wouldn't be able to fire again. So we shouldn't be able to stack burst fire. We should only be able to fire at the rate of our burst fire, and that's it. So yeah, that's all fixed. Now the reload logic is is more complicated than you would think. So right next to set ammo here, I am just going to find the R key. You should obviously not set up your inputs like this. You should do an enhanced input, but I'm not spending time in my tutorials doing an enhanced input for every single input. You can work that out on your own. But basically, for the record, if this functionality is something that the player should be able to do with a button press, then you should set up an enhanced input to fire off that logic. So what we're going to do here is just split our reload between our primary and our secondary. So we can just copy actually this logic right here that checks if we're using our primary or our secondary. I'm going to duplicate that over here and plug this in here, and I'm going to do it for the primary first, and then we're basically going to copy paste and change a couple of things for the secondary. But what we first want to do is get the class defaults. So get class defaults of that slot of current weapons, and then we can use the ammo type and the magazine size and whatnot. So the first thing we want to do is check if the magazine is already full. So we can get the magazine size here. Actually, what we'll do is we'll get ammo, and we'll check if it is less or equal to the magazine size, and make a branch, and this will be our first check. So we'll only be able to reload if our current ammo is less than the magazine size. If it's the magazine size +1, we won't be able to reload either. So this will only reload if it's less or equal to the exact magazine size, if that makes any sense. The next thing we need to do is check how much unspent ammo we have in that magazine. So we're going to set unspent ammo as ammo. And the only reason for this variable is to hold on to that number momentarily while we do our reloading, okay? And just to signify that we're reloading, I'm going to do some stuff here that you would probably later replace with anim notifies, but just for now, to signify that we're reloading, what I'm going to do is play sound 2D. So this is not at location, this is basically for user interface sounds. And I'm going to find a rifle reload sound, rifle reload cue. Just going to browse to this one, and yeah, that'll do. Just a sound to signify that something has happened. And we're also going to set ammo as 0. So basically this is like the clip has been removed, and then I'm going to put in a delay of 1 second, and I'm going to play that sound again. So the clip has been inserted, and then and now this is where we're going to implement our reloading logic. So basically I've just taken the clip out, and I've set a variable based on how much was left in that clip. Okay, so we can now check if this unspent ammo is greater than 0. So greater than 0, make a branch, make a reroute node so this is a little bit neater. That'll do. And this actually does get really quite complicated here. So if this is true, if we still have a bullet in the chamber, we need to set the ammo as the ammo remaining +1. The magazine size +1, sorry. So we'll grab magazine size here, make a reroute node, and pass this along the bottom here. And I'm going to make another reroute node here. And I'm going to add 1 to the magazine size, like so. And this is our primary, so we're also going to set our current primary ammo as that. And if we didn't have 1 left in the clip, we want to set the ammo as just the magazine size, like so. And also set the current primary ammo off of that, if that were the case. And after that, we need to set the reserve ammo. So we can set the reserve ammo as the reserve ammo minus, subtract. And try and keep this as neat as possible. We are actually going to subtract off of this the maximum ammo +1. We're going to subtract the unspent ammo off of that. So unspent ammo is right here. Can bring this down here, like so, and subtract that off of the reserve ammo, like so. If we didn't have 1 left in the chamber, we also need to set the reserve ammo as the reserve ammo minus, and 1 more subtract node here, and this is going to come off of this one right here. So the magazine size minus, again, the unspent ammo. Plug this in here. So this might be very confusing, but basically if we had 1 left in the chamber, we want to take the magazine size plus the 1 off of the unspent ammo. Take the unspent ammo off of that and set the reserve ammo as a reserve ammo minus that. Yeah, all very confusing. A little bit of spaghetti here. But yeah, just if you are confused, just go ahead and go back over this as many times as you need to. There might be better ways to do this, by the way. This is a lot of math, especially for blueprints. You know, math is better done in C++, but I'm not doing C++ tutorials. I'm doing blueprint tutorials for beginners to intermediates. So this is where we are. It is what it is. The next thing I'm going to do is update the reserve ammo in our ammo types variable. So what I can do is grab the ammo type from the class defaults here, and I'm going to put this out to the bottom here and break it. Make a reroute node to bring this along the bottom here. Try and keep it as neat and tidy as I possibly can. And we're also going to get the ammo types on our character. Whoops, that's a set. Get ammo types, get a copy at that ammo index. So we're checking at the ammo index of the gun that we're reloading. And we can break that. And up here, off of the end of each of these, we're going to set our ammo types. So get ammo types here and set array element. And I'm going to duplicate that, make sure I plug in the target array. This one up here, this one down here. And make a little bit of space here because we also need to plug in the index from this one here, the same index here. So I'm going to grab a reroute node, put that down there, this over here, get another reroute node, and plug in both of these like so. And then off of item, we need to make the struct, and I'm going to plug in this here and drop this down, make 2 of these, plug into each of these set array elements, and everything that's the same you can plug right in. So everything except for reserve, so ammo index, plug into both, max reserve, plug that into both, has, plug that into both, and then reserve is just going to be the reserve ammo right here. So plug in the reserve here to the reserve here, like so. Alrighty. That is that, I believe. So let's hit play. Let's use some ammo. Hit reload. That's not actually working. Why isn't that working? We didn't set it up for secondary yet. My bad. Let's just test that it's working for primaries really quick before we copy paste all that. So that's reloading. It's going up to 31 because it had 1 left in the chamber. If we use all of it, it'll stop firing and then reload. It'll only go to 30. We can reload again and go to 31. Let's check that it's taking the right amount off of the reserve, and it is. And we can pick up more reserve like so. Everything seems to be working correctly. Very nice. So let's basically copy paste this for our secondary, but we're obviously going to need to change 1 or 2 things and make sure everything's plugged in correctly. That's off the true. We need to get the class defaults here. We need to, that's the ammo type, and just double check that this is the magazine size right here. And we need to check, so this will be current secondary ammo. We can alt drag current secondary ammo right onto that node and change it to current secondary ammo. Reserve ammo, and all of that should work fine because it's running off the ammo index. Changing the index of that one. That should be everything right there. So the ultimate test, I guess, would be using some and reloading, obviously, picking up another weapon, reloading, and switching between them, and it should switch the ammo and the reserve ammo like so. 18 and 62, 31 and 70. Oh, sorry, 21 and 62. Did I? Yeah, because I reloaded it. 21 and yep. Cool. I do believe that's everything we set out to do, guys. So, like I said, it is a lot, but we got there in the end. If this tutorial has been of any use or value to you whatsoever, please hit like and subscribe. And guys, if you haven't already, please consider making a small donation to the channel via the YouTube Super Thanks function. And while I'm at it, on that note, a massive thank you to the people who already have made donations to the channel. You know who you are, and your donations have been very generous and very appreciated indeed. It does help me crack on and continue to make quality content. I'm very excited with where the channel's going and the stuff I have lined up. So yeah, thanks again, and I will see you on the next one.